Hey besties, it's Rosie. So this morning my guides are clarifying a message that they gave me earlier, okay? In an earlier message, they said that my collective was being oiled. Today they have clarified that to tell me that what they meant was that you are being anointed, okay? This is like in a very biblical sense where you are being anointed with oil, okay? This is your anointing. And when I said that, it sounded like the god Oya, so that could be significant to you. Owls could be significant to you. So, first two cards out of the deck are Strength and the Monarch. So, the reason that you are being anointed is because you are getting ready to take a throne, okay? You are getting ready to ascend and take your rightful throne. Let's see if I can get any more information on what that will look like for you. So my guides had me divide the deck that I'm using into two piles, okay? So I might be picking up on two veins of the collective, or I might be picking up on, let's say the left energy is for your divine masculine energy, okay? Ace of Wands and Ten of Cups. So I'm getting that something that you are very passionate about is destined to bring you great happiness, okay? And this could be something that is at the very beginning stages, okay? Whatever this is, whatever it is you're embarking on, or even if this is something that is in like the dream state right now, something it is that you're going to use your creative energy for is going to bring you a lot of emotional fulfillment, okay? And not to say that this won't be without effort, okay? I'm getting the Ten of Wands on the bottom of the deck, so this is something that is going to require some effort from you, but I'm getting that the fruits of your labor will be worth it, okay? Revolution and the Warrior of Pentacles. So I'm getting that this throne that you're taking, it's going to require you to kind of step into a space where something is readily established and shake it up, okay? You're coming in as the revolutionary, all right? Whatever it is, whatever this throne is, whatever shape that takes in the material realm for you right now, it might just be in the astrals. Whatever form this takes in the material realm, it's gonna require some overhaul of some sort, okay? My collective is often called the rebellion strain, okay? So we are the collective that sits at the mouth of the river of consciousness, okay? We're almost like the first to get fed, and that's why I call you my besties, okay? You're the best, you're the A1, you're seated at the mouth of the river of consciousness, okay? The consciousnness comes to you, and from there you kind of, you know, everybody does something a little bit different with it, you know, we're the outliers. We're not really a collective that receives a set of instructions, okay? It's very rare that we will be given direct orders of what to do with something, okay? We're kind of the collective that you're handed something and you're like, okay, go crazy. Like, put your own spin on this, okay? You might be people, I'm picking up on like a vein of entrepreneurs, and the business that you do is very unique in some way. There's something that, you know, something about your creative energy, the way that you create things is very unique. It's difficult to replicate is what I'm hearing. So you're being called to take that energy, that beautiful rebellious energy of yours, and put it into whatever this new arena is, okay, that Spirit is going to position you in. You are exactly the person that needs to be in this area because this is something that needs to be changed, okay? And that might not be something that other people are on board with immediately, okay? Because maybe the way things are going is very stable, okay? I do have the Warrior of Pentacles, which is the King of Pentacles here. So this is something that is well established, but again, in need of reform for some reason. Let's see if I can get why that is. Spirit, why does this need to be shaken up? Okay, so I'm getting that whoever the previous monarch of this place was, or whoever the previous like management, if this is like business or something like that, they were held back by their mental, almost like they were too mentally entrapped to be able to take this thing to its full potential, okay? Where it's been right now is coming up as Nymph of Pentacles, which would be Page of Pentacles. So kind of the foothold that this region or this element or this structure has is almost in its infancy, because whoever is running it currently, again, is too afraid to kind of step out of this box that they have put themselves in, that again might feel very stable, but it's being held back in some way. So that's why you're coming in to kind of upset the apple cart, okay? And I don't know that everyone is going to be happy when the apple cart is upset, but again, the end goal of this, you know, that Spirit is kind of shepherding you towards, is that there will be new heights reached from this place that previously were not available. I think they were always available, but whoever was kind of in charge of making those decisions was held back in some way. Okay, I've got the Eight of Swords, and that is very much like a self-imprisonment. So I think there was just some fear in this person, some mental conflict that was preventing them from really making these big, bold moves. Ten of Wands and the Nine of Wands. I'm getting that this person could have felt maybe a little, or even it might even just be like an establishment. What was kind of seeding this Eight of Swords energy, this conflict energy, was that there was such a great burden. They were burdened with maybe the responsibility, maybe the load of whatever this thing was, and maybe other things kind of, I'm hearing the word catapulting it. That doesn't really make sense to me. But again, maybe every time this person tried to do this stuff or take steps in this direction, there were kind of like all these things that they were given that they felt like they had to defend themselves from, okay? Maybe there was just so much opposition, maybe the energy wasn't quite right, or maybe just the person themselves wasn't quite right because they weren't used to being the black sheep, they weren't used to being the outlier. And again, my collective, you're very used to that, okay? I guarantee you were the black sheep of your family, you're probably the black sheep of your friend group, your community. You're very used to being the person who kind of comes in and shakes up this energy. I'm also getting the message that at some point you might have had your own mental conflict over this role that you play in other people's lives, okay? You are almost like this hand grenade that gets detonated in other people's lives because, again, you're sent into structures or areas or maybe even families or bloodlines or friend groups or something like that. There's something about your energy. It's almost like you have this heat-seeking missile for things that are stagnant, okay? And whenever something is stagnant, you're kind of positioned there and you're this thing that kind of works from the inside to break all of that energy apart. You know, the wound is the place where the light enters you. So again, your role is probably misconstrued a lot of times, okay? People might have some kind of internal knowing that wherever you are, there is chaos, and they might blame that on you, not realizing that like that was God's plan. God put you there as an agent of chaos. Because something needed to change, okay? And the best way for something to change is for there to be chaos. You know, there is this tornado energy that comes in and kind of moves everything around, so new energies can take root. I'm also seeing the image in my mind of like, you know, when they do a controlled burn in the forest, or maybe not even a controlled burn, after the burn, after everything has singed, you know, it looks hopeless, it looks desolate, but oftentimes that energy is exactly what is needed to, one, kill off all the weeds and the diseases that have been living there, and two, spur new growth. You know, from those places, that is how they kind of like fortify the forest with this burn energy. You know, new growth is able to sprout because of that. So bestie, that is the energy of you. Okay, I'm getting that there are going to be several ways for you to strike a new balance here, okay? And it's kind of going to be up to you to choose which way to do that. I'm also getting that there might be a lot of psychic energy in whatever this place is. When you kind of detonate this hand grenade, or, you know, whatever that looks like in the material realm for you, when you see this rebellious chaos energy, it's going to result in a lot of like almost errant psychic energies. And I'm wearing purple today, which is a protective color for errant psychic energies. So again, you might want to get some purple things. You might want to get some amethyst. You know, you might want to do something to counteract the psychic energy that is going to be kicked up when this change takes place. Because again, that's just part of it, but that is something that I'm seeing could potentially rock your stability a little bit. Okay, I'm getting that you are a very mentally stable person, and you're also very physically stable. So you might have some earth placements. You know, you could have like a Taurus rising or something like that, something that makes you very stable in the material realm. And you could have a lot of air energy in your chart and picking up on like a very sharp mind. Okay, you're able to see through the BS very easily. So I'm getting that this upswinging psychic energies could kind of throw you off kilter a little bit. So you're being given the heads up about that. And I just dropped all my cards. So you can plan for the worst is what I'm hearing, okay? Two of Pentacles, Strength, Spirit of Swords, Six of Cups, and the RX. Bestie, when you take this throne, freedom on the bottom of the deck, there might be people from your past attempting to come back and kind of weasel their way back in. And it's because they see that you have achieved this new level of balance, okay? There's something about like the altitude or like the level that you're going to be at when you ascend this throne. Again, if you're ascending this throne, that implies that you're walking up. So you're getting some kind of raise, promotion, something of that sort. And there's going to be these energies from your past kind of like, looking through the window. What do you got in there? Can I have any of that? Like, could I stand to benefit from that? And I'm getting that this, you know, this King of Swords energy is going to be very important for you to embody and hold, because you're really going to have to look through that BS, okay? You're going to have to see who is there for the right reasons and who is there for their own motives. I'm going to go to a part two.